We have some pretty big information here about this year's Call of Duty. COD 2021 may be developed by Sledgehammer Games, and it may also be a sequel to 2014's Advanced Warfare. So we're going to go through the leaks here, why this actually might happen, the pros and cons for this, and all of the information surrounding this right now. If you can, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I really do appreciate it. We're about 60 subs away from 63K, so seriously, thank you guys for joining the channel. Shout out to the YouTube channel members as always, and let's get started here first with a bunch of the tweets. The first thing here, everyone was spamming below this tweet, WW2, Advanced Warfare 2, but Sledgehammer tweeted out, power off, power on, let's try this again, Happy New Year. So it's a very interesting tweet. It could be just plainly read as, okay, let's get ready for a new year, or it could be, let's try this again. It's our turn this year. We've made mistakes in the past, but we're ready as a studio to release a Call of Duty later on this year. So it's a pretty cool tweet, but not the main thing. Tom Henderson, a credible leaker that we've talked about before, tweets this out the next day, January 1st. He says, who's ready for this year's COD? You are, hashtag Call of Duty 2021, and clearly there you could see a sledgehammer. Now, Tom Henderson has done this before. Last year, when he was teasing Call of Duty 2020, Black Ops Cold War, he was tweeting out pictures of a plane or a helicopter leaving Vietnam, and all old sort of Vietnam War and Cold War style pictures, and he was doing that as a tease, and then later on, he would leak out alongside a bunch of other people that, you know, this year's Call of Duty or last year, Call of Duty 2020 was going to be set in Vietnam, the Cold War. It's going to be called Black Ops Cold War, and all of those previous leaks here. But, you know, Tom Henderson is pretty much teasing to us that Sledgehammer Games will be making this year's Call of Duty, or at least they will be the main sort of studio behind Call of Duty 2021. He also tweeted this out a couple of days ago, and we talked about this on my channel. He was saying that he has a huge info dump for Call of Duty, the best kind, and the only problem is the days are all wonky because of everything going on right now, and he's going to break it all down very soon. And we talked about what that leak would consist of, and I was saying usually Tom Henderson is a leaker who brings us pretty good and major information like the name of this year's Call of Duty or the developer behind the Call of Duty, and a lot of just really early beginning stuff that's very important because, you know, obviously right now we don't know much about Call of Duty 2021. It looks like this major leak here that we're going to get very soon will consist mostly of what Sledgehammer Games is doing for this year's Call of Duty, but we do already have information on what they could be doing already, including some projects and some stuff that they were already planning on making Advanced Warfare 2. So we're going to go through all of that leaked information as well. It looks like Sledgehammer is really building their studio back up and working on a bunch of different projects. Last year during 2020, they added 150 new people to the studio. They've been building their studio ever since Michael Condrey and Glenn Schofield left a couple of years ago, and they're trying to really get a lot of stuff done here. We also have an article from last year as well. Call of Duty Studio Sledgehammer is working on multiple projects, and we actually have an idea as to a couple of those projects that they might actually have in the works, a lot of them being Call of Duty related. And I know most likely today's Sledgehammer games will be vastly different from the Sledgehammer games that we saw back with World War II and Advanced Warfare. I still think Sledgehammer Games, they're pretty good at being innovative and actually coming up with a lot of cool ideas. One of their early projects for a new Call of Duty back in 2010, 2011 was a third-person Vietnam War Call of Duty game that was supposed to be, you know, specifically made by them, and they had to scrap that because they had to go help Infinity Ward to make Modern Warfare 3, which would release at the beginning of 2011. There was a lot of stuff going on with Infinity Ward back then, and Sledgehammer had to scrap their own plans, help them out. They eventually did get to work on another new innovative project, Advanced Warfare, which actually did release. They've also had a ton of other projects as well, and this could be implemented into Call of Duty 2020 in some sort of sense. I think them going back to their Vietnam War game is less likely now that we know Black Ops Cold War is obviously set in the Vietnam War / Cold War, so I don't see them doing that. But we have other leaks here about Sledgehammer making a free-to-play Call of Duty game. So their idea of a free-to-play Call of Duty game was apparently that it was going to have a huge map in it, or at least one of the modes is going to be a huge map. It was going to be something similar to Warzone. It would have vehicles, different skins, different characters, kill streaks, and all of the stuff would be adapted from all past Call of Duty. So it wouldn't be specifically Sledgehammer gear. It would be skins from Infinity Ward and Treyarch games, characters, operators from all different games brought into this one map. I think that's less likely as well, only because that kind of just sounds like Warzone. Activision may have said, you guys have something good that you're working on, but let's bring this over to Raven and Infinity Ward. Let's let them work on this, and then that's what Warzone is now. And maybe even Treyarch had a little bit of that with Blackout, and obviously Warzone is going to be the main battle royale from now on for Call of Duty. So their free-to-play game with a huge map probably won't make a lot of sense for Call of Duty 2021. Maybe eventually one of their other projects will be to help out with Warzone and the new Warzone updates coming for the next couple of months and years, but we also have the possibility that we could see Advanced Warfare 2. So Call of Duty World War II developer Sledgehammer Games originally wanted to make Advanced Warfare 2 before Activision executives asked them to take on real life history instead, and this was obviously before Call of Duty World War II released. Speaking to Newsweek, Activision CEO Eric Hirschberg explained that Sledgehammer wanted to make Advanced Warfare 2, but added that the publisher had seen the increasing calls from fans to return to the series' roots heading back to the 1940s, and I think World War II is a pretty solid game, but I don't think it would have been that much better than an Advanced Warfare 2, and maybe at the time a lot of people were sick of the exosuits and the boost jumping, but I think Advanced Warfare 2 probably could have had a lot more innovation in the actual game, making it a lot more interesting than World War II was. And maybe now for Call of Duty 2021, it's been long enough to the point where Sledgehammer Games could go back to those Advanced Warfare 2 assets and the plans, because they were actually working on it. They wanted to make the game. They probably have a lot of stuff done for Advanced Warfare 2. It's been a decent amount of time since we've had a non-boots on the ground game, and I think a lot of people would actually like to see some sort of Advanced Warfare 2 or some sort of futuristic COD in the mix. You could definitely let me know down below if you agree with that. Would you want to see Advanced Warfare 2? I think the problem is, no matter what we want, Activision must have some sort of PTSD from a bunch of the negative feedback that they saw with the past couple of non-boots on the ground games. All of the futuristic games besides for Black Ops 3 were heavily hated on, and I think especially with Infinite Warfare, that was their last straw. They saw how poorly the game actually sold and how people really weren't playing the game whatsoever, and I don't think they're going to take a risk by letting Sledgehammer do Advanced Warfare 2 and, you know, bringing back this boost jumping type of deal. Maybe they could do Advanced Warfare 2 without the boost jumping. It could still be futuristic, but without that boost jumping mechanic that pretty much everyone hated who played Call of Duty a lot back then. You also have the problem with Kevin Spacey being a huge part of Advanced Warfare's campaign. They obviously aren't going to bring him back because of what he was exposed to be doing. So Advanced Warfare 2, they've started working on it. They have the assets for it. It's definitely possible, but it's definitely going to be a risky thing if they actually go forward with that. They could also do a sequel maybe to World War II, and, you know, it could just be another war after that, but a sequel to that would literally just be like the Korean War or maybe the Vietnam War or the Cold War. So I don't know if they're going to do that as well. I feel like they might go to the future in some sort of way. That's why I'm leaning more towards some type of Advanced Warfare 2 or a spin-off of what Advanced Warfare was all about. But again, we'll have to see what Activision has actually decided, and we'll probably get that information very soon. Now, the last thing here is actually just trying to figure out, does Sledgehammer even have time for a full Call of Duty release later on this year? It doesn't make too much sense to me. I think it is possible if they're really building up their studio, but think about what just happened the past couple of years. They were supposed to release a Vietnam-based Call of Duty in 2020 alongside Raven Software, and they couldn't finish the game in time. They had so many issues, and Treyarch had to come in and take over back in 2018, and Sledgehammer had to assist Treyarch and Raven the rest of the way, and Sledgehammer didn't really even get a large portion of the credit for developing Black Ops Cold War. Remember when they originally announced Black Ops Cold War, it said it was being developed by Treyarch and Raven, and Sledgehammer, they're on the box art now, but they're not really main developers for that game. So it's very crazy to see how they got booted off of that game and how there were so many issues that they couldn't make the game, and I just don't understand how they would be already so prepared to release a Call of Duty in 2021. The only way I could see them doing this is that we have another Black Ops Cold War where Sledgehammer is only working on, let's say, the multiplayer, and then we have Raven or another third-party studio coming back to do the campaign. Obviously for Black Ops Cold War, Treyarch didn't even make the campaign, it was Raven, so maybe they can make the campaign this time around as well. And then also the third game mode, whatever that may be, maybe it's just going to be Warzone, that could also be updated by Treyarch, Raven, and maybe even Infinity Ward as well. There's also obviously the talk of Call of Duty 2021 being a sequel to 2019's Modern Warfare. I do think Infinity Ward is working on that sequel right now, and if that were to release in 2021 later on this year, it would be back to the 2-year development cycle. And I feel like, did Infinity Ward even have time to make this sequel, because they were working on Warzone, they were also updating Modern Warfare throughout the whole season last year. I feel like it would have been, or it's going to be, a rushed game if they do release it this year. So that's why another Call of Duty in 2021 with a bunch of different studios all together, with Sledgehammer leading the charge, is a bit more likely than seeing this Modern Warfare sequel. We're definitely getting that sequel at some point. Modern Warfare 2 will most likely release in 2022, maybe this year as well, but you know, we'll have to see what they do. It's going to be really interesting to see what's going on, but maybe I'm just doubting Sledgehammer. Maybe Sledgehammer is the sole developer for this year's Call of Duty, and they might actually make a good game. And you know, who knows? It's very, very early. Leave your comments, your theories down below, but this is very exciting to see that this year might actually be pretty different and pretty interesting if Sledgehammer is taking the charge yet again. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys did enjoy. Leave a comment below. COD 2021 if you watch the whole video is greatly appreciated. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.